What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chasing Charleston Eats. This is a new page that I thought I would start. I noticed there's kind of a gap in content available for deliveries that are on bicycles. There's a lot of food delivery people that aren't doing stuff on in their cars and stuff like that. But I thought, since I do Uber Eats on a bike, that I should document my stories here for y'all. So this will be my first shift with y'all. Obviously, I've been doing Uber Eats for about 2 years now. So it's not my actual first shift, but it'll be the first time that I'm seeing you all. So hold in there with me as I learn how to navigate YouTube and the best way to kind of film this content and the views that y'all want to see and the content that y'all want to see will grow together. We're starting today. It's about 11:19 here, so we're starting the lunch rush on, what day is it, the 10th? I think it's the 10th, but it's Tuesday, second Tuesday in March. It's an absolutely gorgeous day out. We do have a promotion. I get a lot of promotions. I don't know if that is something that happens in Charleston with all delivery drivers, or if it happens a lot with bike delivery drivers. I just happen to get a lot of them. The promotion for today for lunch is 6 orders. The first 2 I get will add $2. The next 2 will add $4. The next one will add $4. And then our last one will add $8. So we can get up to 18 extra dollars, which should be pretty easy. 6 orders. I normally, for a lunch shift for about 2 hours, I will do anywhere from 8 to 10 orders. So let's get Uber Eats turned on and we'll get going. Okay, we got our first order right away. It looks like it's going to be $7.87 for 1.6 miles. I don't actually get a lot of matches on the bike. Usually they just send me orders and I don't see a lot of the matches, but this one was the first one that popped up. I guess they wanted to see if I was ready to take deliveries, but it was a good order, nice and short to start us off, and it gets us down towards the area where I like to deliver anyways. Alright, scratch that. We're actually going to Rodney Scott's first. They sent me an add-on for $7.33 for about 2 miles. Rodney Scott's was right by this corner I turned at earlier, so we'll pick that up. And then that way we have an order to get us down to Spread Bagel, which is always nice. So, Rodney Scott's to start off the day. Alright, we got our first order of the day for Rodney Scott's barbecue. Get this in the bag and we'll be on our way to Spread Bakery to get our second order. One thing about driving on a bike that is always rough is if there is any type of drinks. I'll show you guys once I get drinks kind of what I do later on. These first 2 orders we got pretty lucky with today, and there is no drinks in either of them. But lunch especially, we'll get a lot of coffees and shakes. Dinner time, not as much, which is nice. But we're off to Spread Bakery. So we'll go around this corner, we'll go up to Spread Bakery, grab our second order, and be off to the first customer. over, and we're about 0.7 miles from my first drop off. So I will say one reason why I kind of wanted to start this channel is, one, like I said, there's not a lot of bike delivery people as far as content to watch, but I also live in a very beautiful city, Charleston, South Carolina. Obviously, you probably got that from the name, but if you look straight ahead, you can see Arthur Ravenel Bridge. So there's good views all over the city. So as you go through the videos and watch some of the deliveries, you'll see a lot of really cool old historic houses and old streets that I probably take advantage after living here for so long of, but I think a lot of y'all will really appreciate seeing some of the views that Charleston has to offer. Okay, so our first drop off is complete. It was a nice easy leave at door. Now we got about 0.6 miles it looks like here. So get to our second drop off. It's a place that I've delivered to a few times before. So you all might notice as the channel gets longer and longer that I do have a lot of people that I deliver to regularly. I'm not really sure if that's something that has to do with Uber, like maybe they've given me a thumbs up in the past, so if I'm online, they'll try to give me their order, and since I'm online a lot of the same times throughout the week, maybe that's why I get some of the same people. But we're heading to our second drop off, and let's see, it is also a leave at the door. So we got our second order dropped off. Took us about 32 minutes for those first two orders. So we got our first part of that opportunity for today. We'll get our app started back up and see what it gives us next. Alright, we immediately got our third order here. $7 for, I think it's at 1.6 miles from Azul. One thing you guys will notice is a lot of the times the bike deliveries are very close to the restaurant, so a lot of the mileage is me getting to the restaurant, which is fine. I'd rather not have the food in my bag for as long as possible, because obviously streets in an old city, especially one like Charleston that floods a lot, get pretty bumpy, so it's better to not have to carry the food around. It's more than you need to. Yeah, see, so we only have 0.4 miles to drop this order off for... Actually, I guess, I don't know, I probably shouldn't be saying that. We'll get used to what we should do and what we shouldn't do as we go on, y'all. Okay, so we got about 0.4 miles to get to our third drop-off, which means I am now halfway through our opportunity for today. See, they're not all good orders, guys. You saw me take the first four that were offered, but do have to deny some of them. I think I am fairly lucky with delivering on a bike just because they don't send me super far orders a lot. I think sometimes the app there's a loud dust. I think sometimes the app tries to trick you and see if you'll take a far order just to see if you're in a car or actually in a bike. But obviously I am on a pedal bike, so I will not be taking orders longer than 3 miles. I think the only time I did it was like a $24 order or something for 3.2 miles. So obviously I'm not going to pass that up. Okay, so even before we got this third drop off, we got our next one for $8.93 for 1.2 miles. It is from a restaurant I normally have to wait at, but again, this is one of those orders where the mileage is almost entirely to the restaurant, and then I have to go a couple blocks once I pick up the food. So we'll get this drop off right here. And then we'll be on our way.
Thank you so much. Oh yeah, gotta have the documents. Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Well, y'all, we might be going to a closed restaurant. I don't think this Toast is open anymore. I think the only Toast downtown is the one on King Street. But we'll drive down there and see if it's still open. I know they're building a big hotel around the building that's around and behind this Toast, so I thought they closed. But we'll check it out and see what the status is. See y'all there. So yeah, as I thought, the building that the restaurant used to be in is half torn down. So we definitely are, get a food order from there. I don't know why they still have that restaurant on if it's torn down. I'm sure the order was supposed to go to the other Toast. Well, actually, maybe it moved down a block. Now that I'm looking at the map, I think the restaurant is still here. It just moved down a block. Yeah. Look at that. The more you know. See, I usually don't pick up from Toast just because I have to wait a lot. But here it is. So we'll pick up this order and be on our way. While we were in there waiting for the order, as I expected we would be, we got a add-on for the subway that's just a block down the road here. As soon as I can get over to the right side of the road, I will. But we got an add-on from Subway for $6.17 for about 0.8 miles. So we'll go pick that up, and then we'll drop off this chicken and tacos. Okay, y'all, we got Subway picked up. It's a little bit of a wait in there, but Subway's right next to a main touristy area, so usually is not ready when I go in there, so I try not to take any orders that aren't decent orders or really short orders from there. But we're about 2.5 blocks from our first drop-off. We missed our turn originally. We ended up behind this fence right in front of y'all. But we found it eventually. Sometimes you actually have to trust the Uber app. Sometimes you don't. But this time it was correct. It is only, at this point, 12:27, so we've been out for about an hour and 10 minutes. Usually I stay out for about 2 hours, so I started a little late, so I'll probably end around 1:20. So we'll see if we can do our normal 10 orders or not. Obviously depends on what Uber sends us, but we're already down with 5, so we can probably get 4 more in the next hour. 3 or 4 more at least. And plus with bonus, we should be doing pretty well as far as how much we've made. And it's y'all's first horse carriage sighting. You'll see a lot of those. It's a very popular tourist thing to do in the city. Almost went to the back door. We'll walk up to the front door, obviously, here. Alright. Leave it at the door and I'll be there in a few. Okay. Put it right here so they can open the door. Alright, confirm delivery. Alright, so that's 5 done. About an hour and 15 minutes. And immediately, as soon as we drop that one off, we get $10 for 1.2 miles. It is from Legend Deli, so we will have to go in and wait. I don't know if I've hardly ever been able to go in there and have the order be ready. However, the people are very friendly. There's some air conditioning in there, so especially when it starts getting a little warmer out, it's kind of nice to accept orders from there, just because I know that it is going to be a little bit of a wait in the air conditioning. station. So we'll head off to Legend Deli and see you there. Alright, so honestly not too bad. I think it was about a 10-minute wait, I think. But now we only have 0.5 miles to get to the drop-off. So our opportunity is finished, complete. We got our extra full $18, which is awesome. Let's see, $5 for 1.3 miles. It's not the best order, but the pickup is very close to where we're dropping off. So I think I will do it here. The other thing is, this place usually has coffee, so let's hope it's just a sandwich or a salad. Delivered here before. I remember it took me a second to find, I think it was D. Alright, A, C. Oh, B, perfect. Okay, off the Alcove Market, I think that we picked up from a different spot for each of the 7 orders today. Some days it's like that. Sometimes you pick up from the same spot over and over. Like, I think yesterday I picked up from Brown Dog Deli 5 times out of the 8 orders that I took. Which is fine, because that means it's just keeping me close to the same one restaurant. It's kind of nice when you get to do that. But then other times, like today, we get to see a little bit more of the city. Since it's our first time hanging out and doing this channel, it's kind of nice for you guys because you get to see a lot of different little areas. But believe me, there is a lot more for y'all to see of the city. It is a gorgeous city that I think people will like to watch. Going all the way down Broad Street. The lady I am delivering to, I delivered to the other day, she sent me a message. She came down and met me at the door the other day, but she asked if I could come upstairs since I think she's in a meeting, it sounds like. So we'll drive down Broad Street. I'll keep my app on just in case we get one more. Sometimes it'll send me something that's either not the best or an okay order, and since I'm all the way down here, it's like a 15-minute bike ride back up to my house anyway. So if it sends me something that kind of goes back up towards my house, I usually will take it, so at least that way I'm getting paid to go home a little bit versus just a nice long bike ride. Big up there to make it easier. In the door it says 200. Off the Broad Street, we got leave on the steps. That would be great. There should be a pile of small mail on the steps. There's no mail, so maybe we'll just come up to the top. Alright, she said thanks, so I guess that was the right office door. I just didn't see any mail, so I didn't want to leave it at the wrong spot, you know? So we're going to head off to East Bay Deli for our last order. Takes me about halfway home. And then once we deliver this order, I will be done for the day. So we got, in total, about 8. Well, not about 8. We got, in total, exactly 8 offers today. Which like I said earlier, it's usually about average. I usually try to do 8 to 10. I think I might have been going a touch slower, trying to get used to talking to the camera and remembering to turn it off and on, stuff like that. I'm sure I'll get more used to it as time goes by. But we're off to East Bay Deli.
Thinking about it now, I'm kind of going back.
I'll take y'all with me because I don't want to leave my GoPro out here in a busy area. Plus, I guess we'll just kind of get different views, see what looks good, what doesn't look good. As we do more and more videos, we'll kind of figure it out together. We're going inside, second floor. That's the end of our day. Alright everybody, that ends our first episode of Chasing Charleston Eats. I know the video will probably be a little different going forward as I learn what looks good, what people like, what I like, and how I want to present stuff. But these first few will just kind of keep going through trying out new things, putting stuff together. You guys let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you think you might want to see more of, and we'll just kind of keep continuing to show you all around Charleston, show you the houses, the architecture, history, all the different spots that people like to get food here locally. And I don't know. I guess I would say besides that, I hope you all have a great week. Hopefully y'all's weather is as nice as ours is. And once I get home and all the tips come in, we will do a little recap for you guys of how our afternoon shift went down. It was about 2 hours and 10 minutes in total.